And good evening, and welcome to another edition of Warrior SuperCast, the podcast specifically introduced for the Wintonwood School District for the superstars that take care of this wonderful district. I'm fortunate to have a very wonderful roundtable. Of course, joining me, Karina Denny.
Hi, Jason.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad that you're always here to put a smile on our face to sit down and talk, because you always bring some enjoyable people to talk to.
Yes, I do. We have some great people that we work with.
And today we're going to be talking about collaboration.
Yes.
This is our second individual who's come in that's not necessarily part of the district, but is adding his or her services to help the district out. And who do we have today?
Today we have Steve Easley. Steve is a supporter of the district and a partner for the district, and he owns Easily Blessed. He has a business and marketing background, and he's just a great supporter. He lives nearby, and we wanted to bring him in and have a conversation today.
Well, Steve, glad you could join us.
Glad I could join you as well. Thank you.
Steve, obviously you are a part of the Winton Woods community, so there must have been a drive or a reason to say, I need to assist and help out the district. What was that calling?
Initially, I happened to have a conversation with Anthony and some of the team at a baseball game. Actually, it was an event they were doing there, and just heard a little bit about what the school was doing and the way it was going, the direction it was going. And I wanted to find out more because I saw their passion. I mean, I heard it in their conversation that, you know what, they're not individuals who are here to make a name for themselves, more so to make it right for the kids, for the students. And I thought, you know what, how can I be a part of that? And then following up and speaking with them, they showed me ways that I could actually be a part of it and be instrumental in helping to move things. So I enjoyed the opportunity.
Obviously, you've found a home here
Yes.
in the area and have helped out immensely. What are ideas or thoughts that are going through your mind when you see the Winton Woods district? That, as you're saying, you want to help. How are those?
You know, I look at the talent that this district possesses. I mean, you've got multiple languages spoken within the school. I think we're at 21 languages? 25 different languages spoken in the school. I mean, that says you're touching so many cultures, so many different households, so many different demographics of people. And in understanding that, you understand the impact that you can make just by changing the way that some of these children learn and how they go out and see themselves, the confidence level that you can build, the knowledge you can create within them so they can go and enhance their community, their households, their environments, and potentially some of these corporations that are here in Cincinnati and abroad.
We always talk here about the warrior motto, of course, with trust, respect, and responsibility. Obviously, that resonates with the district, but it's something that obviously resonates with you as well?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very fortunate. I was able to serve 12 and a half years in the military, and I did 2 tours of Iraq, and you understand a whole lot about trust and respect. You know, as soldiers, we come together and we bond in so many different ways. Sometimes we bond in some of the worst of times when you're at war. But the level of trust and respect that you have for one another, when you see these soldiers that will jump in front of one another when the rounds go off, as opposed to running hide, you get an understanding that everyone values everyone else's life, sometimes more than they value their own. You know, and when you see that, you get an inherent respect and love for that type of bond and that type of entity that takes place there. So when you can see ways to recreate that or share that with the community or share that with the family or share that with others, you know, it makes it great. And that's what I get to do. In my line of work, I get to look at ways to help build trust between communities in these schools, to build trust between the students and these teachers or the students and administrators, which I know ultimately creates a great environment for everyone to do well.
Absolutely. Now, as we stay, you know, you never say a woman's age. We won't even say how long you've been here, so we will be respectful as well. But you have probably been here enough to see the change from the way Winton Woods has been, the district has been, we'll say 10 years. And let's look 10 years in the future. Are you seeing that with the new project-based learning and the new tech model? Do you see that evolution completely propel the district from an outsider standpoint?
Absolutely.
And where it's going 10 years from now?
So when you look at what these students will be faced at in college, and even take it past that, what they're going to be faced at in the real world, most of us work in an environment where we don't work alone. We don't work in silos anymore. Everything's interconnected via those who are working from home, who are part of a corporation that you've never met, those who are doing a part of a project that maybe never even crossed the building. So understanding how to work in groups and understanding how to work and process things as a collective and share ideas and make a project better by everyone having input and helping, I think is a great step in the right direction for these kids as opposed to the traditional learning methods. Not that they're wrong,
No.
but here's an opportunity to give them a leg up as they move forward in college and in real life. I think that aspect was a huge jump for when was to take that initiative to say, we want to go ahead and put this in place for our students because it's a difficult thing. I mean, you're talking about changing the basics of what we know at school, the way we learn, how we learn. It's not that they're changing what you're going to learn. It's just how you apply it. It shifts the control in a sense of, I think with our individual test-taking learning method where you as an individual work in your own, you do everything on your own, and you kind of turn it in and get graded based upon that. When you change that model and say, no, you know what, this is the real world, this whole classroom, this whole school, you're all in it together. And you may be in a project now with this group of 8 people or this group of 4 people, and you learn everything from what the actual topic is, the subject is, but also how to work together.
And it may not be the same 8 to 4 people.
No, absolutely. It'll change. And that change is what's great. And that's what really enhances the learning, because I learned here that maybe in this project I'm a leader in this way. But in this other project, maybe I'm more of a supportive role, and I'm leading from behind, or I'm leading to help you understand the aspect that you do, because you say, hey, you know what, Steve, I need you to do this. Okay, I'll do that, and that helps you do this component, and together we put together a great project, and we deliver that, and we present together. And I think that just really works well, because that's the reality of today's workforce. Whether you're the marketing director or you're the CEO or you're, the person at the front desk that helps get everyone in, or in HR, you're still all working together to solve problems, to provide solutions. And part of that has to have a knowledge of the content itself, but also a knowledge of how to have a conversation, social skills, how to interact, how to work together and be comfortable. And when there's conflict, how to resolve that.
Which
I
is
think
always
that's
a
one
hard
of the big
one.
things.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You are listening to the Warrior SuperCast here, the March edition. I'm joined with Corinne Denny as well as Steve Easley from Easily Blessed. I'm very fortunate to have you here. And of course, the more important thing that we're kind of involved with here is technology. And with the new tech model, it enforces the use and the propelling, almost the, I don't want to say force, but just you have to use it. You've got to use it, because that is something that is hands-on, day-to-day. I mean, we're not without a piece of technology somewhere. Do you feel, as a community liaison, so to speak, or community member who's helping out the district, do you feel that we're using technology enough in the model we're using today? And will it propel those students further in your eyes?
Technology is ever changing. We're seeing more tech go into more things that we would have never even realized it had a big aspect. I mean, if you look to the future, what they're saying, the clothing industry, they're talking about your clothes, you'll be able to change the color of your clothes through touch and thought and things like that. I mean, your skin all of a sudden is now the new screen for your phone. So the understanding of technology and the application of it to real life is important, and it'll be impactful. So the more that we can get the students, the parents, the community, the administrators to embrace technology and how it can help enhance what we do, the better prepared we'll all be. So I think right now, when I look at the model of new tech in the school, absolutely, we're taking advantage of the technology that's out there to enhance learning, to enhance education. And by doing so, we're giving our students the right tools. And some of them, you'll see they'll take absolutely more to it. Others will be kind of a little more hesitant.
Sure.
But there's opportunity there, because those that are hesitant, there's an opportunity to show in places that we can learn and how they can learn and utilize them better. Those who take to it, there's an opportunity to say this may be a different career choice for you altogether. You enhance, you shine in this space. Maybe you want to take off in this space. I mean, I remember when my first bouts with technology, I used to be the system administrator for Xavier University and other companies where, technology, I was in programming and database writing and coding, and I thought, it was amazing. Amazing bridging the gap of, hey, this is what happens when you take an order and break it down. Like this table, there was a company that I was assistant administrator for not too long from here where we took an order and broke an order down. Hamilton Sorter was the company. But we take an order in and I'd write a code that says this table has this laminate, this type screws, this type things. We make it in this process. We order like this, JIT. And it just was amazing, the use of technology to say, this table takes these things in this process, order it now, ship it now, and this makes our process more efficient. And it brought costs down. It helped us on our plant floor with the workers that were out there. It helped us in our logistics and getting material to and from, the plant. And then also, when we had a finished product, getting it to the client.
You're looking at the efficiency, the more for less model,
Absolutely.
so to speak.
Absolutely.
Karima, obviously we have brought a few fine faces here that have been from the community. And Steve, you're a wonderful gem.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'd want to talk to you more after. But, we have these wonderful people joining the cause, so to speak. Where do you find these wonderful people?
And I will have to add, Mr. Easley is like the real deal. You know when you meet him, he's the real deal. So we are so thankful he has joined our cause, and we have all kinds of gyms in our community, and we have really gotten a lot of traction with our community engagement, and we want to continue in that direction and bring in our experts in our community into the schools, into the classroom, and into our projects, so it can really bring some authenticity to our projects and to the learning for our students.
I think it comes back full circle to when we first started doing the podcast. We were just talking about, well, wouldn't it be great if we could have community members doing this and community members doing that? We're seeing that now. It's just like when we first implemented the new technology. Wouldn't it be great if we could have the physics department and the history department merge together, and they're creating wars and battles and these wonderful ideas of how a catapult works.
Right.
The great merging of technology, the great merging of minds, creating a wonderful district.
And I think it's an exciting time for teachers. They're really rethinking what they can do now. I know there's some talk at the high school about combining an arts class with a geometry class, which completely makes sense, right?
3D modeling
completely
right there.
Makes sense.
Yes.
So it's things like that. It's bringing teachers a lot more the ability to create and to really broaden kind of how they see how they're going to implement and teach core standards to our students through project-based learning. It really opens up a ton of doors.
Sure.
It's difficult getting started, and let's come back to that because this is difficult for our teachers. It's very difficult on our staff right now. But if you talk to our Academy of Global Study teachers that have been doing this for a long time, I would guarantee that most of them will say they would never, ever want to go back. Never, because not only what it does for them as a teacher, but what they see it do for students. You want that. That's why you're there, and that's why you have your heart into teaching. So.
And speaking of thinking unconventionally and changing things up just a bit, we're going to be doing that as well with the State of the Schools this year, coming up in May. Mr. Easley, I believe you're going to be a part of this.
Yes, I will. I'll get to interview our superintendent and really get to the insight that he has and the vision that the school has for where we're going. Talk about where we are and how we can get there and how everyone can take part. Because the reality is, at the end of the day, we still need everyone to step up. We need the community, we need the parents, we need the students, administration, and teachers as a whole to help move this forward because we're all going to benefit from it. Yeah. So I would love to hear, I'm looking forward to hearing his insight on that. Yeah.
And we will be there as well. And that's going to be May 3rd at 6:30?
Correct.
And to be determined elsewhere.
Yes, location to be determined. Right.
Of course, we are never without at our ending anything great that's going on in the district. We've got some wonderful things already on the horizon here.
We do, and just very quickly here, we have two events coming up. One is going to be on Saturday, our Fine Arts Fair, which is our third year doing this and was from the start, from when we launched it, extremely popular. We have it's great because of all ages are there, and our younger students can see the work of our older students, and it inspires them, right? And then we also have an area where our younger students can try out some of the band instruments, some of the orchestra instruments, so or string instruments. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and that's a Saturday from 1 to 4 at the high school.
At the high school, okay.
And then we also have something that's brand new this year. We are partnering with the Freedom Center. And we are going to have a huge event. We already have 400 RSVPs.
Wow, that is
Yes,
huge.
and this is for it's for March 23rd from 5:30 to 8. We're going to start off with performances by many of our orchestra, band, choirs. We're also going to then have project displays of on freedom. So we did a district-wide freedom project, and some of the students, some of the showcase projects are going to be on the 3rd floor of the Freedom Center. And you don't need a ticket to come. You come to our door, and everybody comes in. So if you want to RSVP, you can go to our website at wintonwoods.org/content/freedom. So you can RSVP there. But please just feel free to come. It's the 22nd at 5:30.
What a great county-wide means to show off the great things that are going on with project-based learning.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely wonderful. Well, we've made it to the bottom of our time. I like to always let you have the final word there, but Mr. Easley, I want to thank you for sitting down with us and discussing all things Wintonwood School District, and I hope to see you again.
Absolutely. Thank you, and I look forward to that as well.
Absolutely. And Karina, as always,
Thank you, Jason.
we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
And of course, I'd like to thank you for all joining us as well. You've been watching and listening to the Warrior SuperCast, this podcast for the Wintonwood School District, highlighting the superstars of the Wintonwood School District. I'm Jason Grisgorg, Waycross Community Media's Government Access Coordinator and host, bidding you a fine adieu, and we'll see you next time.